Alright, let's go ahead and get the wheel pants on this thing before we start the cowl. Get that out of the way. Nice set of wheel pants already pre-cut for you, and they have blind nuts in here, and they bolt on through these two little holes in the back of the axle here. So we've got some little 256 machine. You want to use lock washers and a flat washer on that, but I'm also going to put Loctite to ensure that these do not vibrate loose. Nothing more aggravating than a wheel pant vibrate loose and it's just hanging there dangling or come off. So I've had them come off before, but sometimes they'll just dangle around there and rattle, and then when you come into land they'll get caught on the ground and break them. So the lock washers most likely will hold them, but we are going to put Loctite also to ensure that these stay in place on this thing. So get my little screwdriver out here. Alright, let's see. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The Allen bolt that's in my wheel collar is hitting. I'm gonna have to loosen that and turn it around. How about that? So we're gonna have to loosen the whole axle, because I've ground my flat spot on my axles for those. So let's just do this. Let's turn them this way. Okay, that'll work. Same difference, huh? Hold this. Let's see if I can get back in here with this and hold that a little tighter. Can from the other side. Maybe. Tight enough here. Let's get up here, get a bite on it so we don't chip. Okay, she's tight. Now let's see if she'll fit. Okay, we got to turn the bolt squared up with the hole in this wheel collar to get it to fit. It fits right in this groove right here. So alright, we've got it lined up. Hey, I bet our screws will go in there now, maybe. Let's try. Let's put some Loctite on them. Oh, you doggone thing. Plugged up again. Stuff just crystallizes as hard as a rock in that little tube there. Let's try this. Getting low. Whoa, squirted everywhere. Good for me. Okay, down here with my little screwdriver. Start that one. I'm not going to tighten it till I get them both in place. Let's start that one. Okay, now I can cinch them down. Tighten these really tight to get the lock washers tight, and then the Loctite will just help even more. Okay, alright, wheels rolling freely, and I don't like the looks of that little deal sticking out there, but maybe nobody will even notice it, the nuts, the bolt sticking out. But I couldn't turn them down because it hit on the back side. So alright, let's get in here, and I might as well adjust this one because it's the same way. So we'll have to take it loose, rotate it around. Okay, now let's get that. We'll square that up, nut on the inside up so it stays put. A wrench on it here. Okay, now let's tighten them down. Okay, good and tight. Now, if that one will fit on there, alright? Yes, sir. Perfect. Alright, let's put a little Loctite on this one. up in there where she goes. Screwdriver. There again, not going to tighten it down until I get the second one in. In case you have to wiggle it around and get the holes to line up. I have had these before that the holes were off a little bit. Cindy's revolver, when I built it, one of the wheel pants, they didn't get these in here straight and it set on the plane all crooked. And I ordered a new set for it. Kind of ticked me off. I should have probably just called Great Plains and sent it back and they probably would have given me some free, but I didn't. I just bought them. They're pretty good. If you get a part that's messed up, you can call them, and 9 times out of 10 they'll just send you a new piece without even sending the old one back, unless it's something major, you know. But okay, here we go. We got wheel pants installed and looking pretty sharp like those. Okay, alrighty, we'll see what we can get into next step. Okay, we're ready to start the cowl. It's going to be a little difficult on this one. Normally what I do, 2 strokes a little easier. It's got, the head's not quite as big and doesn't stick out quite as far. You got these valve covers. Normally I'll take a piece of paper, a flat piece of paper, and tape it to the fuselage and run it up here and cut this out, and then I can slide my cowl over that, lay that piece of paper on and trim it. But this is too wide, so I can't even get the cowl up over it. So what I have to do is hold it approximately where it goes here, up here on top, and get lined up, and then start my holes. And then what I'll have to do is, I've got them marked here for the head where to start with, and the muffler, the corner. So I'll just start with a small area, start working it on there, and when wherever it hits, I'll take a little bit more out and a little bit more, and I try to keep my cowls as tight and neat as I can. Hopefully this one will turn out, because this is really a nice cowl too. I like it. I hope I don't mess it up, but I'm definitely going to have a little bit of a hole here for the muffler that's going to kind of angle out, and then the whole head's going to have to stick out right here, and then there'll be a tiny hole in the top right up in here, and actually be up here toward the front for the needle valve. But anyway, we're going to start cutting on that here in just a minute, and we'll see what we got. One little tip here: when you're when you're cutting on these fiberglass cowls, wear a mask, because that dust is very, very bad for you if you get it in your lungs. And well, if you breathe it, and you can't help but breathe, it's in the air, and it will really cause some problems. So go to Walmart, get you some of these masks, and wear them, and wear eye protection, because that fiberglass dust it's so fine. You get it in your eyes, it's hard to get out. You sometimes even end up having to go to the eye doctor and having flush. So this stuff is very dangerous. So protect yourself when you're cutting this fiberglass, because there's a lot of dust on it. And I keep an old towel here, and I just keep it wiped down and blown off. I've got an air compressor with a little air gun that I blow it to, but as long as I'm cutting and stuff, I wear this mask and stuff to keep it out of my face. Okay, we're almost there. A couple little notches here, one for the glow starter and a little bit more on the muffler, and right there. And we got to do our pin on top, but show you a little bit of a grinding here. Keep a towel over my engine. Keep all this dust out of the carburetor and stuff. It's some bad stuff, boy. You can see it's all over the cowl. You want to gently kind of wipe that off, not get it in your face. I hate these masks because I about burn up in them, but I sure don't like breathing this stuff either. Okay. Now, let's see what we got here. Oh, I gotta get this off. I'm burning up. I think we're there, except for the needle valve. Yep, we got full clearance. Cool. Let's see if I can turn it around here where you can kind of see what we got. You don't want it touching anywhere. You want it to clear everything. I had to do this here because of the angle of my glow starter. I have room to get in here, and it just barely clears the bottom of the muffler and everything. But that's the best you can do, is just get as close to that as you can without touching. If it touches anywhere, it's going to vibrate and cause your cowl, the paint and stuff, to crack on it. So you don't want it touching anything. But about right there is where it's going to be, and we got everything cleared now, engine head and the muffler and all. So, and see, they showed in the book for the muffler to just stick right down the side here. I didn't like that. I mean, I'd rather that didn't either, but I'd rather have just a little bit of it than the whole thing down the side, and then all your fuel residue is going to go down the side. This way it comes out this spout on the bottom, and what does get on your plane will be on the bottom of the plane. So it'll keep it neater and cleaner, plus I think it just looks better. Okay, well, I'm going to take a break a minute, and we'll come back and we'll show you how to fit this and bolt it on and everything. Okay, we've got our cowl all cut out. I did go ahead and cut this other vent out. It was closed up. This one was open, but I went ahead and opened it. You want plenty of airflow over your engine, and then the bottom of it is where the air comes out, and I cut this all open to, of course, clear the bottom of the muffler and everything. So it's ready to mount. Now, there's blocks inside here. You can see them. Take the canopy off, you can see where they are. Mark those with a Sharpie. Go ahead and drill your hole. Now be careful on these top ones, don't go through, because your fuel tank's right there. If you drill through that, you're going to drill a hole in your fuel tank. So go to it gently. Mark on your bit with a Sharpie or something how deep, so you know. Get your holes drilled. And the bottom ones won't matter so much if you go through those. Okay, I got to be careful on this one. There's the fuel tank. Alright, I'm going to take my Sharpie. I'm going to make a little mark on my bit so I can kind of watch it. And I know that's not any longer than my screw, so I went slightly deeper than that, so we're good there. Now, this one over here, I need to move back a little and act like it didn't hit the block good. Nope, it did. What in the world? There, I was a little bit too low. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take my drill bit that I just used. I'm going to stick it through my paper, stick it in the hole, lay my paper down flat. Now, I've got a roll over here of masking tape. And what I'll do is, you want to tape this back far enough that it doesn't interfere with your cowl. You want it to raise up when you slide your cowl on here. I put 2 pieces on each one to hold it in place so it doesn't move on me. Okay, we can pull the drill bit out of that one. Put the drill bit in this one. Stick it in that hole. Push the paper down flush and tape it down. Okay. Then, okay, we got those. Now I've also taped a piece on top here and I brought it up here, and I've got my needle valve out, but it's got the little spring deal there, and I used that to poke a hole in it, and then I marked the hole and cut it out. There again, when I slide my cowl up under there, I know right where to drill a hole. I can mark it and then pull it back off and cut the hole in it. Let's go ahead and get the tape on this other side and get that tape down. Okay, get my camera back up here, we can see what I'm doing. Okay, we got that. Well, like I say, we want to stay back far enough with our tape that it's not going to interfere with the cowl. You don't want to tape it up here close because that cowl is going to fit back to about right here. So, one more. Let's take the drill bit out of that one. Stick it in this hole. There again. Flush her down. Masking tape is when I use it. It sticks good, but yet it will come off easy. It won't damage your stickers as bad. You'll be able to get it off a lot easier than if you used Scotch tape or packing tape or something. So, okay, we've got those ready to mark. Now, what we're going to do is slide our cowl up on here. We're going to raise these papers up. Make sure it goes underneath all of them. Come on. Okay. Now, let me get my nose cone. I like to put this on here. Oh, I'm going to have to drill that out. Let me drill this out and I'll be right back. Got my back plate to my nose cone on there. That way I can tell exactly where my cowl should go. Now you can do the same thing here. It's kind of hard to get it in place, but I will put a piece of tape on this part. Pull it up here where it belongs. You just want about a, not quite an eighth of an inch, between a 16th and eighth of an inch space between this spinner plate is all you want. We're going to try to get this tape down. I don't want to get on my paper there. Raise that up. Get it even. It's wanting to droop on me, so I think what I'm going to do at this point is drill my hole in the top ones and get them in place. Now, you want to use a smaller bit, or well, actually you want to use a same size bit that you use to drill into your blocks, but then just barely go through your fiberglass, and then use a bigger one to enlarge the hole on this cowl. If you don't, when you screw that through there, it's liable to break your cowl. Crack it. Well, it's going to be tricky trying to get this right where it goes. I'm going to have to take just a hair more out of here over by the muffler too, now that I've got this on here. This will get me, I'll get one screw in it. Holy crap. Barely catching. I'm going to have to go back a little bit, leave a little more space. I'm going to have to leave an eighth of an inch. Okay, now I'll take a next size up. I'm not going to drill into the block, I'm just going to drill the hole in the fiberglass to enlarge it. It's a tiny bit. Alright, we're going to take one of our screws, get this one in place. That'll kind of help us hold it. Okay. Nobody important. Alright, now what I need to do is drill the one on the other side. So let me turn this around here and get on the other side of it. Change bits before I forget. Okay. Now I've got to get my cowl up here where she belongs. Okay, make it a little bit larger. Let's put a screw in that one. Get it. See if I can find my hole. Okay. Well, this one's not wanting to line up. Alright, let me see what's going on here. Put the lid on my Sharpie. Let me find this hole and I'll be back. Okay, now we've got our screws on the side, got it on solid. Now we can go in here and see what we need to fine tune. I need to take just a hair more right out of the bottom here. It's hitting the muffler just a little bit. We don't want anything touching, so I'll take another little half moon right there. Everything else is clearing good. This side, now what we're going to do is where we marked for our needle valve, we're going to mark a circle in that hole we cut in a piece of paper, and that'll tell me where I need to drill it. Now we're going to take the cowl back off to do that because we don't want it to get any fiberglass dust down inside that needle valve. So this is kind of a pain doing this because you have to take the cowl on and off 2 or 3 times. But at this point we can take all this off and get the tape out of the way. I got a piece of something like grease up here. Get it all wiped off. There we go. Cool. Oh, about marked my deal off. Alright, now we'll get the cowl off and finish it and get it back on here in a minute. Okay, guys and gals, the cowl is finished. Got it all on here, got the needle valve hole, got the head and everything coming out, clearing the muffler everywhere. And I ended up, I didn't have to use that silly blue plastic nose cone. I had a aluminum one that'll fit it. It is a 2-blade prop right now. I look up the real Chapman Eagle 580 and it does run a 3-blade prop, so I just don't have any right now, so I'll have to order a 3-blade nose cone and a 3-blade prop, and I will scale it out with that later on, but this will fly it fine for right now. So we're all done with that. Now all we got to do is stick the wings on it and balance it and set the throws, and we're ready to go fly. So I'll be back in a minute. We'll get the wings and stuff on here and we'll do the balance on it. Well, we about forgot one important thing here. The switch. The back off the switch I used for a template, and what I did is I held it on here, marked it with T-pins, and then I took it off and drilled my holes. Now I'm going to put this back on here with some T-pins, and then I can use my marker, if I can find it here, and outline my hole that I want. And I put the wing on it to make sure that it was going to clear. The reason I'm putting it up and down is because I don't have enough wood structure in here to put it sideways. This is framed up kind of different, and well, there it is. The only place I had solid wood in here was right here on the sides without, you know, building it up. And I didn't want to do that. This will work fine. So, alright, we're going to cut this out and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, I cut the 2 main sides with the disc on my Dremel. This wood that's in here is really thick ply, so it's hard to do with a knife. And I just kind of notched this, but if I can get my knife in there I think I can cut across the top. This is tough. It's good solid wood though. The switch ain't going nowhere, that's for sure. Ah, stupid handle. Knife blade keeps coming out. Okay. I think about got the top one, maybe. Man. One of the toughest walls I've had to cut through. Gosh dang it. Stupid knife. It's coming apart. This is a little cheap piece of junk. I'm going to get rid of it and get me some better ones. It won't stay tight. I'm just going to punch my knife through there and slide it back and forth. There, we're getting it. Alright, now, got that out. Now I'll just kind of shave it out. Make sure it's level and square. Alright, let's see if our switch fits in there. I don't think I'm going to need that extension. Maybe. So I don't know, I might, but I'll take it off for now. Put both leads in there. I'm going to turn the charge jack up to the top. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little shaving to get her in here. She's a little snug. I thought it would be on this side. But I'd rather cut it too small than too big. Alright, let's try that, see if we got it. Wow, she's still tight. Alright, I'll finish this up and be back. Okay, we're ready to balance now. And this plane is easier to balance upside down because of the landing gear. What I do is I take a ruler and I lay it right up against the fuselage at a 90 degree, put another ruler on there, and I make a little mark where it goes at 3 3/4 on this one. Then cut you a couple of little bitty strips of masking tape about 1/8 of an inch wide and put on your marks. Now we're going to turn this upside down and balance it and see where we need to put it. I'm going to do it without the battery first. Now, turn your ceiling fans off, or any fan you might have on, because it's going to affect how this balances. So we're going to do front to aft balance first, and then we'll do lateral. Both of them are very important. Alright, put our fingers right on those, and it's just slightly, no, it's not tail heavy, it's almost perfect. Hang on, let me get my fingers back on there. They're slipping. Okay. Yeah, just a hair tail heavy, not bad. So that tells me my CG, I have to get my battery either right on it or slightly forward from that if I can. So I'm going to have to go in here and see where I can put the CG, or the battery for the CG on this thing. Take the canopy off. This is going to be perfect. I'm probably not going to put a smoke tank in this thing. So that leaves this compartment right here open where a smoke tank would go for my battery. Wow, that is going to be perfect. It'll lay right in there. I'll make a little bracket to strap it down, and I'm betting money that that is going to be perfect because it's just forward of the CG. Well, I'll have to strap it in there for sure, or glue it. Let me get some sticky tape and tape it, stick it down. Find some scissors here just to hold it in place, and let's check it with this right here. I'm going to put a piece of this on the valve of this battery. And then I'll take the cover off of it. It's double-sided. This is some really good stuff. I get it at Walmart in the paint department where all the tapes and stuff are. It's got a red cover on it, but it's actually gray, and it's awesome stuff. Boy, it just sticks really, really good, and holds things in place real well. So now that will hold that battery right there while we turn this upside down just to see what we're going to have here. Put your canopy back on it. When you balance one of these, you want everything in place. Prop, spinner, everything that's going to be on this plane. Except for maybe your stickers. That doesn't weigh much. Alright, we're going to turn it back over. I'm about to burn up without my fan on. Look at that. It's setting level on my fingertips. Perfect. Now, let's try this. This is why you turn your ceiling fan off, because it's hard to maneuver this thing around. Alright, now what I'm going to do, get over here and get my prop. You want your prop center where there's no torque on it at all from your compression. And it's better to have this on, but I don't have a battery in it right now. So I'm going to pick it up by the prop and the tail, and I'm going to see it's wanting to go to the right side, which I knew it would because of the engine head. So, that being said, my battery, instead of laying it flat right here, I'm going to put it up against this wall right there, and that'll get everything as far to that side and forward as I can. Then from that point, I may have to put a little bitty piece of lead in the tip of that wing or something if it's still off. But alright, we'll get the battery mounted in this thing, and we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, set your throws. You need a throw meter, really. I mean, you can do it with a ruler, but it's not very accurate. Great Plains throw meter, it's got millimeters on one side and inches on the other. Little rubber cups, it works really well. We're going to put this on the rudder. Goodness, I can't even talk. My spring's getting wore though. I'm having a hard time getting it to stay. Wanting to fall on me. Okay. Now, this book gives you 3 rates because this is a 3D plane. Low, high rate, and then a third rate. But we're not even going to set the third rate right now because I don't have any intentions of doing any 3D with it for a while. So we're just going to do the low and high. Low rate on rudder is 1 3/4 or 44 millimeters. So we're gonna go with it. Got the millimeter on here, and wow, that's low at 100%. Okay, now let's go to dual rates. I'll make sure my rate switches are all forward when I do this. Okay, now I want to. It's on rudder. We're on number 1, so we're going to go to the right, and we're going to go to 44 millimeters. Okay, we're going to go to the left, we're going to go to 44 millimeters. Alright, now high rates. Well, actually I want to skip down now. Go to some Expo. Okay, now we're going to go to the high rate position. And it is 2 1/4. There's no way I can get 2 1/4. And what's the millimeters on it? 57 millimeters. I can't even get 57 millimeters out of this. Holy mackerel. Well, I guess I'll just peg it out. That's as close as I can get. So there's no way, with the linkage this has, the way they show you set up, it's not possible to get 3D throws out of this. It's crazy. They're showing 3 inches on the rudder, or 76 millimeters. There's not enough length with what they're showing you to build this plane with. So you're going to have to do some aftermarket servo horns, which are real long, and shorten these up back here to get 3D rates out of this. But I don't really care about 3D anyway, so we're just going to do it like this. Alright, I need to put some Expo in that. Okay. Now, let's go to elevator. Go low rates first. I'm going to put this over on this side where I can see it. Okay, elevator, low, 10 millimeters, 17 on high. Doesn't take much elevator for this dude, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, it's hit 30 on low, so I'm going to have to turn that down to right there. Don't ever start with more than what the book says, because that doesn't look like much throw. But I guarantee you this plane's going to be a handful, so do not go over what they say, or you'll probably be sorry on your first takeoff. We'll go to 10 right there. Okay, now we're going to flip it on. Well, let's do the Expo. See, I may have to change some linkage on this because I'm at 19 and 20%, and that's liable to cause a flutter. I need to get at least 30 or 40% on my low, so I'll just have to fly it real slow and see what it does. I may have to go in and change my linkage up. Alright, now let's go to high rates, and it is 17 millimeters, so come on. I always forget to highlight that. That's not what they're calling for high. In 3D rate, they're calling for 60 millimeters. So, man, that's some high rates on this thing. Alright, we got there. Now let's go down. Okay. Right. There's a difference in what they're showing in the book. Low and high. Low and high. And low, high, low, high. And the third rate's way more than that. Okay. We'll do the ailerons right quick, and we'll be done. See what we got on them, what they're saying. Alright, ailerons on low rate, 6 millimeters, not very much. 24 for high. So it's not going to take much stick at all to roll this thing. Alright, on low. I can't believe they're just calling for 6. That's crazy. Okay. Alright, high rates calls for 24. There. Okay. Alright, throws are all set. Let's see what we got. There's a difference on the aileron. So that little bit of a throw right there, that's saying this plane is very sensitive and very snappy. It's not going to take much to throw it around. So do not, whatever you do, do not go in there and set any more higher rates than what they call for in the book until you fly this thing and test it out. Okay, boys and girls, there you have it. The Matt Chapman Eagle 580 3D plane is complete as far as I'm going right now. I do not have the stickers on it. Matt, forgive me. I don't like the Embry-Riddle stickers. It's cluttered, I think. And I know this is a scale plane of his real plane, but it's my plane here. This one is. So I'm going to change it up. I've got some really cool looking eagles coming to put on the wing right here and on both sides. And I've got some eagle heads that are feathering back into American flags to 8 inches long to go down the sides. And then I've got some eagles to go on the tail. And I'm having some graphics made at Bad Brad Graphics that say Eagle 580 to put out here. So it's going to be a little bit different color scheme than what the real one is. But like I said, this is my plane and I want it the way I want it to look, and I'm going to fly it the way I fly it. So anyway, it's all done. Everything's moving and ready to go. So we will go to the field tomorrow if the weather permits. Looking good so far. And we'll see what this thing does tomorrow, and we'll get a video of the maiden flight for you. Thanks for watching.